Johnny English, the spy spoofs many to the James Bond films. It's been 20 years since the UK release of Johnny English, a British spy spoof stacked with James Bond alums past and future, starting with Rowan Atkinson himself. Atkinson's first brush with Bond came in 1983's Never Say Never Again, the unofficial Thunderball remake that was produced by rights holder Kevin McClory. Original Bond actor Sean Connery returned to the role for the first time in 16 years. And Atkinson co-starred as Nigel Small-Fawcett, a British Foreign Office representative who liaises with 007 in the Bahamas. From the name down, he's very much the comic relief in that film. Later, Atkinson appeared as accident-prone spy Richard Latham in a series of globetrotting credit card adverts from 1992 to 1997. With backing from UK production company Working Title, the star was keen to do a feature-length spy spoof, which paved the way to Johnny English. In the press notes for the film, Atkinson mused, "Those commercials, even though they were only 60 seconds long, had a movie feel to them. They were elaborate and atmospheric with very high production values. They just felt like a mini-movie, so it seemed logical to make a maxi-movie." Renaming the character Johnny English, the film repeats a number of gags from the ads wholesale, such as Atkinson spiking himself with a tranquilizer concealed in a ballpoint pen. The plot also promotes English to Agent 1 in British Intelligence Department MI7. At the same time as private prison magnate Pascal Savage, John Malkovich, mounts a hostile takeover of the United Kingdom. It doesn't overtly spoof James Bond like the Austin Powers films do, but inevitably. Bond is such a traditional part of the British film industry that no British spy spoof can avoid some crossover. Beyond the genre and the gadgets, the 007 connection runs deeper than gags. When the project was originally announced in 2000, Bond screenwriters Neil Purvis and Robert Wade were attached to write the film, then titled A Touch of Weevil. The lyrics were all Robbie's, but the tune came from none other than Hans Zimmer, who later went on to compose the score for Daniel Craig's swan song No Time to Die and also worked on its title song with Billie Eilish and Phineas. Oh, and if you're really looking for a musical connection, the band who play at a party at Savage's London headquarters is Bond, the female British-Australian string quartet Bond, not the male spy. Released in the UK in April 2003, the film was a decent hit at the worldwide box office, topping the British box office for 3 weeks and ultimately grossing $160 million worldwide off a $40 million budget, taking £25 million at the UK box office alone. Notoriously a perfectionist, Atkinson admitted he wasn't satisfied with how the first film turned out, but returned for 2 sequels that go to Bond more directly in places. Taking a leaf from the Daniel Craig movies, 2011's Johnny English Reborn revolves around a quantum-like syndicate called Vortex. It also casts Rosamund Pike, who made her feature film debut playing Miranda Frost in Die Another Day, as behavioral psychologist Kate Sumner. Meanwhile, Olga Kurylenko went from playing Bolivian agent Camille Montes in Quantum of Solace to Russian spy Ophelia Bulatova in Johnny English Strikes Again. Bringing things full circle, the 2018 sequel effectively remounts Never Say Never Again but with Atkinson's bumbling English as an old spy who avoids a future in teaching when he's called back to action. Finally, in a Reddit AMA to promote the third film, Atkinson said he doubted there'd be any further Johnny English films. But like Connery before him, he added, "Never say never." Johnny English is available to rent or buy on VOD,